Okay, on this lesson of learning together, we're going to cover two simple triad shapes in a easy 1-4-5 pattern. We're going to take our E shape, we're going to move it, we're going to do this in the key of A. So basically you just make an E chord without your index finger. Got your pinky on the 4 string. Strings numbered 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So pinky is on the 4th. Your ring finger is on the 5th. Your middle finger is on the 3rd. And you just take that down to the 5th fret, which is an A. The open E string, F, G, A. So there we've got a E shape, A chord. Okay. Now we're going to take a chunk of this, a triad that forms on the 4th, 3rd, and 2nd strings. 4th, 3rd, and 2nd. Look where your fingers are on those strings. Your index is barring the 2nd string. We're just going to move it to the 2nd string by itself there instead of barring. Then we're going to leave our middle finger where it's at. Now if you look where your pinky is at, that's our one of our roots. We've got 3 roots on the 6th string, 1st string, and on the 4th string. So our pinky is on a root in this form. So we're going to swap that out with our ring finger. We're going to just lift the pinky, we're going to put our ring finger down on that 4th string. We're just going to play those 4 notes. You can use the tip of your ring finger to kind of mute the 5th string if you like. You can do the same with the index finger. You kind of mute the 1st string. That is your A chord and the E shape triad. Now, if you know your scale, your major scale, we can start at the root. You got your whole step, half step, whole step, whole step, whole step, half step. Played down 1 string, if you go across, it'd be 1. This is your root note, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Back to our root on the 5th string. Again, that's so we're on the 4th string at the 7th fret. It's our 1. We go to the 4th fret on the 3rd string. 4th fret, 3rd string. That's our 2. We move that to the 6th fret on the 3rd string. It's our 3. Another half step up is our 4. Again, that same pattern of root, whole step, half step. Pay close attention to where the root is on in this configuration, because that's kind of lets you know what chord you're playing. So you know that's the root. You can use the octave to trace back to the 6th string. Octave being all 8 notes in the scale, or 12 chromatic notes for an octave. So in this case, A sharp, B, C, C sharp, D, D sharp, E, F, F sharp, G, G sharp, A. Those are the chromatic sequence. Again, between the B and the E, and or the C and the B and the B and the E, there's only a half step. Otherwise, it's a whole step, or a in between actual notes. So A, like for instance, A to B is a whole step. B to C is just a half step. But in terms of chromatic steps, there's 12 of them. Okay, 12 chromatic steps between octaves. 8 notes or 7 notes, and the 8th note is the octave in between, because your notes are different than your chromatic steps. There's our chromatic steps, and our scale notes are. Hopefully you can see the difference there. So the octave, if we're going across the strings, the way the strings are spaced, there's 5 chromatic steps between string. This string and this string. 5 chromatic steps. Between this string and this string, 5 chromatic steps. It actually goes 5, 5, 5, 4, 5 as far as chromatic steps. So easy math. From here to here is 5. From here to here is another 5. That's 10. We need 12 to get to the octave. That's 10, 11, 12. Easy way to find your way around the octave. So that gives you your A chord. And again, this is this triad, root, third, and a fifth. Root, third, and a fifth. That triad can be used anywhere on the neck. There's your B, A. So in a 1-4-5 chord progression, you're using the 1 chord, the 4 chord, and 5 chord. 4 and 5 are major chords that are derived from the scale. So you would take the 1 note, the A, and you would take the A, you would take the 3rd and the 5th note within that section of scale, and that would make up your triad. So with that in mind, if you look at that and look where your root is, look at the neighbors for the root. This is your 4, just 1 string next door south of that's your 4 note, 4th note in the scale. 1st note in the scale, 4th note in the scale. 1st note in the scale, if we go this opposite direction, this is actually the 5th note in the scale. If you're starting the scale here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's how we get to that 5. So it's important to know that, because our next chord, the 4 chord, is going to be based on this 4th note in the scale. Now if you take your A shape, your A chord, your open position A, you notice that the 4, 3, 2 strings, 4, 3, 2 strings are all on the same fret. And that is actually a triad as well. Those 3 strings, 4, 3, 2, all played on the same fret. In this case, it's an A. If we move it to here, it's a B. We move it to here, it's a C. Move it to here, it's a D. Move it to here, it's an E. So what do we want in our 1-4-5 chord progression? We want our 1 chord. Now we got our 4 chord and our 5 chord. It's a 1-4-5. Easy 1-4-5. With this triad shape coming from the A chord, if you look, that G string is where the root is for the A. Again, with your standard A chord, open A chord, you've got a root there with the A. You've got a root on the G string with an A. So you got 2 roots in that chord fingering. So knowing where the roots are E root, and actually in this whole chord you got an E here, an E here, and an E here. Or excuse me, A. It's an E shape A chord. Root A, A, A. So when we are laying our finger down here, barring these three strings, the middle string is where our root is, and that identifies the chord. It's a major chord shape. And again, that chord, whatever that G string note is, determines the name of the chord. Actually, if you play just these three open, that's actually a G chord. Middle string, the G, that's where your root is, it's a G. Same as here at the 12th fret, G chord. So learn those two triad shapes. They'll be very helpful, and learn where the roots are, how to determine what makes them the chord that they are by looking at that root. Just go back to your octave. And play around with that and try some of that 1-4-5. Very cool sound.